All right, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me on another great episode of your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. Now it's June 12th, another democracy day, but yet another day under the tragic APC administration. And all over the media space, Nigerians are divided on opinions about our democracy. While we have a few who still think we can get better, most Nigerians think we have failed totally in our democratic journey. And in Tinubu's national address, he explained what democracy should actually be. And if we are to be honest, what we have in Nigeria today is far from what he described. In fact, in his speech, he indicted himself because he ended up condemning his own actions. As we speak, one of the organizers of the June 12th protest in Lagos, Ikeja, has been arrested, signifying an attempt by the APC-led Lagos state government to clamp down on protest, which is undemocratic. But you want us to believe that we are in a democracy. That's unrealistic. And as such, Nigerians, in a way that has never been seen before, rejected this year's Democracy Day speech. Before I show you the part of the speech where Tinubu actually condemned his own actions, let me quickly show you this tragedy that actually got me emotional. I mean, I'm 100% against this administration, but to see this happening to an old man who should be at home resting actually got to me a little bit. Tinubu was at Eagle Square and he was going towards the podium to give a speech. And for reasons that we don't understand yet, he fell down flat. Maybe he actually tripped or maybe he became dizzy, we don't know, but he actually fell down flat. See the video.
Of the reviewing officer, the special guest of honor and reviewing officer for today's historic occasion, His Excellency President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, was born on 29 March.
You saw that. What a tragedy. There is time for everything. This should actually be a time of sober reflection for the wise. All the bullying of people using MC Oluomo, all the suppressing people for political power, embezzling of Lagos state funds, using thugs to enthrone your cronies in other states so that you can control other states' resources. One day you will leave all that behind. And even before you finally leave, if you have lived wrongly like all these Nigerian politicians, you will start seeing it that you really messed up. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Look at some of the tweet reactions. While some Nigerians were being sympathetic, some were actually being harsh. This tweet here by My BT says, "National disgrace on national TV at Democracy Day. After blowing lies on TV, in body no fit hold those lies, rather choose to go down low for a minute." And Adewale Damilare says, "I'll never laugh at this. This can happen to anyone. Even Joe Biden has experienced same. My issue with Tinubu is about his insensitive policies, which the populace are suffering from. He should do better or be booted out." And Chimezie here says, "Oh no, God, hope he didn't injure himself." And St. Joan here says, "I hope he is fine. The state of the economy came to mind." While Pure Stanley here says, "This is the so-called president of Nigeria. No wonder the economy of Nigeria is unstable, since the man at the wheels of leadership is unfit. During his inauguration in May 29, 2023, he almost fell on the stage. Today, June 12, 2024, he fell on the stage. Karma at work. Chai." And Tao here says, "One thing I'm going to tell people mocking him is that one day you will be in his shoes, old age." But Kwabina replied, he said, "Old people go home and rest, not trying to commit while they should be resting with their grandkids." It is what it is. Man should be at home resting. What is he doing out there? And when things like this happen, no single person can control how everybody will feel or respond to it. Some Nigerians are showing a bit of sympathy, while others are saying they have no sympathy for members of a political class who are destroying their lives. If you think about what MC Oluomo did to people during the elections in Lagos, you will withdraw your sympathy. Now, let us listen to that speech by Tinubu, which shows that what we have in Nigeria today cannot really be described as a democracy. See the video.
The nation exited the yoke of dictatorship in 1999 to become the most populous democracy on African soil. Today, 25 years later, we celebrate the silver anniversary of our journey in democracy. Democracy is neither a foreign nor abstract concept devoid of real life meaning for us. Neither can we afford to reduce or minimize it to being nothing but the mere holding of periodic elections where one candidate and party outdo another. While elections attract democratic attention, they are but one aspect of democracy. Democracy is a way of life that encompasses a broad outlook of which elections are but a part. As such, a nation can have elections without being democratic, but a nation cannot be truly democratic without holding elections. That we have established a tradition of holding transparent, open, and fair elections gives credence to our democratic standing.
You heard that. He said it himself. He said you can have elections without being democratic, which was what, the two things he said there, they apply to what Professor Mahmoud Yakub did. You can have elections without being democratic. He did that. But a nation cannot be truly democratic without holding elections. What Mahmoud Yakubu did cannot be described as an election, because you cannot go around the whole world telling everyone that cared to listen that this is what you are going to do on election day, and that day came and you changed your mind. And when you were summoned to court, you refused to show up. Then in this speech, Tinubu went ahead to say only a tradition of open and fair elections can give credence to a democratic standing. Even the dumbest and the most biased Nigerian cannot say that our elections are open and fair. That is not the present situation of Nigeria. We have 36 state governors, not up to 4 of them emerged through fair and transparent processes. That is, if we even decide not to be fixated on the presidential election. How about the governors? How did they emerge? And look at how Nigerians reacted. Look at some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here by Canary says, "This is not democracy. In a democracy, votes count. Citizens are allowed to vote wherever he or she resides and registers. Every citizen that meets the prerequisites can aspire to any office in the nation. There are rules of law, etc. Snatching it and running is not democracy." That is it. And Lincoln here says, "Nigeria isn't yet a democratic country. What we have can best be described as civilian dictatorship that is rooted in grab it, snatch it, and run with it philosophy of politics, wherein the security agencies and judiciary are enablers of electoral terrorism disguised as democracy." Honestly, this is what we have happening. We can't dispute that. And Akinpelu Taiwo says, "Which useless democracy are we preserving? The democracy that has destroyed the nation, the democracy that opens doors to thieves and rogues calling themselves political class, the democracy of oppression and impunity. What democracy?" Akinpelu Taiwo is actually very angry. And Tope Praise here says, "Government for the government, of the government and by the government. I pray we practice real democracy one day." Chai! Well, that will depend largely on the people. The reason why the political class has been able to hold Nigeria hostage for this long is because members of the political class are united towards one cause. And that cause is their pockets. They are united towards enriching themselves to take care of their families, give themselves and their girlfriends, their mistresses, good lives. But when I say everybody in the political class, I don't mean 100%. I mean 95%, 96, 97. And democracy is a game of number. For instance, if 350 members of the 360 members of the House of Reps take bribe from PHCN to keep Nigerians in darkness. What do you think the other 10 can do? Any bill that you bring up, they will vote against it. Why? Because the other 350 have taken bribe. They are united in keeping Nigerians in darkness. Look at the DSTV and Go TV, all these satellite sector. In other countries, you pay as you use. In other words, any day you don't use, it doesn't read. But in Nigeria, you pay for 30 days. Even if you travel, after 30 days, your subscription is gone. We have been shouting and shouting. National Assembly cannot come up with laws, to turn that back, because these guys go to them and they bribe them. Even all these suppliers of generators into this country, they will not stabilize electricity because those guys bribe these National Assembly members. They give them generators. They'll fuel the generator for the 4 years or 8 years or 12 years that you remain a senator or House of Rep member. So how are you going to say the truth? These guys are united in keeping Nigerians poor to enrich themselves. And that is why for Nigerians to break free, they have to unite. And if we do so, we will break free easily because we have the number. And in democracy, number tops everything. And when Nigerians decide to unite and break from the hold of this evil political class, it will be clear for all to see. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una. Now I dey here, so don't go away. Don't go.